Marion, your turn, and then Pat.
Yeah. So my name is Marion from Marion Metz Solutions in New Zealand. I provide virtual solutions for small business owners like proofreading. People who buy from me need their writing checked to make sure it's correct, like LinkedIn profiles, websites, articles, and business documents. And the services start at 85 New Zealand dollars.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you so much, Marion. Every week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group more insights into what it is that they do. Give me 2 seconds because I've not set it up. Spotlight and spotlight. All right. Oh, God, I love that you show me how to do that, Kathy. All right. All right, so you get to share further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use this time to problem solve or seek assistance from or advice from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Today we have the wonderful Marion Metz. So Marion is in New Zealand. She moved to New Zealand when she was 40 years old, and she is a solutionist and a proofreader and solutionist. So she works with impact-oriented solopreneurs who love their work but are overwhelmed, frustrated, and always chasing their tails in the running of their business. She helps them get closer to balance, one solution at a time. Through one solution at a time. So basically, when Marion moved to New Zealand, right, so part of these solutions also include proofreading. When she moved to New Zealand, she was working for a company, dentist, I think it was. She was working for a company who every time letters went out and things went out, she would read it and go, oh, let me just grab that red pen and fix that and fix that. And she'd fix that. And she'd become known as pretty much Marion the Fixer. And as a result, she's ended up in this. She loves this, like editing and fixing up other people's things and making the proofreading and making sure that they make sense or that the grammar or the spelling is correct. So with that, Marion, easily found on Facebook, would it be? LinkedIn?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn? Yep, you're more on LinkedIn. Do you have a website?
Yep.
Yep, what's it called?
MarionMetz.com.
There you go. Easily found at marionmetz.com. That's where she's found. All right, other than that, Business at Breakfast, second seating. All right, Marion, you've got up to 8 minutes to tell us more about what you do. I used to do this at time, but now that we have an official timekeeper, so Kathy Weaver is our official Business at Breakfast timekeeper now. She's just set the clock. So if you've not finished by the 8-minute mark, just wrap it up and we'll have time for questions. But you're right to take it away.
Right. Okay. So my name is Marion, of course, of Marion Metz Solutions. I provide virtual solutions for small business owners like proofreading, and people who buy from me need their writing checked to make sure it's correct. Now, how I came to be a proofreader is my first job in New Zealand was as a personal assistant to a holiday park owner. And she was an avid writer. She did write council submissions, emails, marketing, anything. And she gave me everything to read to make sure it sounded good and was easy to understand. And her thinking was, if I understand it as English second language, if I understand it as a non-native speaker, everybody could understand it. So I did. And I found also heaps of spelling and grammar mistakes. And after a while, we started to make fun of it. And every new document was given to me with, Miss Picky, can you cast your eagle eyes over this, please? And so I did it. And 20 years later, I'm still proofreading and now as a freelancer. And that's me. I think I have a little bit left, but...
Oh, you're good. We'll ask questions. Look, the less you speak, the more questions we end up with anyway. So you've definitely won the prize for the fastest presentation. It'll probably be the longest question and answer section that we've ever had. All right, who's got questions for Marion? Yep, Diane.
The cost.
The cost. Okay, 85 starts from New Zealand, $85.
Thank you.
And what sort of proofreading do you do? Do you do proofreading? I believe you do proofreading on websites, because we talked about this a year or two ago, right? On websites. So
Yes.
if we're getting a website done and we're not sure if it sounds right, we could just go to you first. Or spelling
Yep.
errors. Who's noticed spelling errors on people's websites before? Yeah. When you're very close to the mark. Yeah.
Yep.
The About
Yep.
You page, right? I would say would be another big one. Like
Yep.
on a website, the about you. People have
Yes.
trouble writing that and making it make sense. Yep.
Yep.
Greg, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just a question as far as proofreading, how costly would it be, again, if I understand exactly what your profession is, how costly would it be to a business owner or an entity for having, you know, wrong grammar or wrong message?
As in, can you go a little bit deeper? What you mean?
When you say proofreading, how important is it to be accurate on documents or the things that you proofread? Thanks.
Very important, very important. It can be costly. For instance, if you spell a number wrong, it costs $1,000 and it costs $10,000 or something like that. I mean, it's a basic example.
Actually, that's a
Yeah,
fantastic.
you know, it's funny if you leave out or add on an extra comma in there, that can make a big difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, that's a fantastic example. We all tend to put your hand up if you thought the proofreading is really, you know, it's a lot about the words, with the spelling of the words right. And what's the repercussions if the word was spelt wrong, right? Someone might think, wow, you can't spell, right?
Not only that, you
Actually,
lose integrity.
If
lose
the,
faith.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
Mm.
But if the numbers aren't right, who's a little bit dyslexic? I love math and I write things down. I know the numbers and I write it down and then I go back and go, well, I don't understand why that didn't add up. Oh, I switched all those numbers around. I literally just write a bunch of numbers on a page the first time and then I have to recheck it. But I know when I worked and I was selling furniture, at the end of the day, we had to tally the till, right? And it all had to equal. We had to do the FPOS machine. And sometimes when the FPOS machine was out, you could almost guarantee that the FPOS machine was out because those two numbers were switched over. It could be $120, but it was done as 210. I'm not saying just by me, it's by anybody. 210. Now that was an easy one. We just call up and say, hey, I took too much from your card. Can I give it back? But if it was supposed to be 210 and you took 120, you have to go and ask for the 90. And it's a harder conversation, even though they were prepared to pay it the first time. So, yeah, really important. If that's written wrong on a website, yeah, I can see that, or any particular document, if some words and numbers are turned around. Phone numbers, that can be an issue as well. If they're written down wrong, then nobody can get hold of you. Maria, what's your question?
Marion, thank you for your presentation. Do you, is it proofreading books as well? And then my second follow-up is, do you offer edits? Are you interested in offering copy?
Okay, I do proofreading. I proofread anything, books as well. And I do copy editing. Not copywriting, copy editing.
Right, that answered the question, Maria? Yep, I like that. Copy editing, not copywriting.
Yeah.
She'll look over your LinkedIn. She won't write your LinkedIn.
Yep.
She can help you once you've written it to look over it and then help you out. From
You
that.
write it and I fix it.
There you go, right? You write it, she'll fix it. Don't worry, she'll tell you where it's wrong. Nice. Jackie Owen.
Hi, Maria. Marion, thank you. My question is about websites, about editing, proofreading websites. Because of the balance between writing for Google and writing for your customer, do you take into consideration keywords and key phrases when you're editing websites?
Not really, because the customer, the client, the website writer should know the keywords and implement them in the writing. As I said, you write it, I fix it.
Yeah, thanks, Marion. Yeah, cheers.
Excellent. All right. Does someone else have a question for Marion? Yep, Kathy.
One thing I wanted to share, first of all, Marion has a YouTube channel. I just looked it up, so it would be nice to give her some love since she's got her website, marionmetz.com. She's also got her YouTube channel, Marion Metz. So let's all subscribe to her channel. The rest of the story is, isn't this a perfect opportunity to have a playlist called Proofreading is Important? And each little snippet, just one or two, don't give away the farm, but this video is 2 minutes and it talks about this. And this video is 2 minutes and it talks about this. And then you can post it different places, add it to your playlist. People would get to be able to have a synopsis from your playlist to get an idea into what you do. And you didn't think proofreading was important. What happens if you put the comma in the wrong place? And that way it definitely brings it back home how important it is exactly what you do. So thank you very much. I'm very picky about grammar, text, all of those things as far as the proofreading thing. So I wish I had had you in my life years ago when my books were published. Thank you again for this great presentation.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yes, something I've discovered in regards to writing books. It's one thing to have the original editor who does your book and they help you with the editing and getting the structure of the sentences in the right order and all of that. They then can't copy edit it. That's right, isn't it? They can't proofread it after that. They proofread it to a degree as they're doing it, but then they're like the writer. They're so close to the story that they don't notice those mistakes. And so you actually need a second person right before it goes to print to then read over and proofread it and fix the actual editing mistakes that come from that. So you need two editors to go through and make sure that it all gets correct. Neville, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment there. It's like I'm noticing for myself as I'm writing more, I'm generally pretty good with the writing, but I'm noticing that when I'm moving quickly, I will leave words out, and that can change everything about what I'm actually trying to say and make me sound like an idiot. So it's really helpful to have somebody else looking over what you're writing, because as you said, you're too close to it. You don't know, you know what you meant to say and you see that because that's what you meant to say, but it may not be what you actually wrote.
A good tip is just once you edited everything, you wrote it, you edit it, leave it sitting there, maybe for a week if you can, and then read over it again because it's kind of fresh then.
Nice. Excellent. Yes, thank you very much. Thanks, Neville. Pat, you've got your hand up?
Yeah, because I'm relating to this in the grant space. Can you imagine by putting the wrong words in or putting the wrong figures in? It's going to make a big difference. And you're right, it's the right brain versus the left brain. You can't work in both sides of the brain at the same time. And there was, yes, and also don't rely on AI either.
Yeah. So you've just opened up an interesting idea in my brain there, Pat, is I know that from time to time you get clients come to you and say, can you help me out and can I pay you later and after I get the grant and everything else? And or they'll say, I think I can do it myself. There's an opportunity there. So for Marion and you, Pat, to have a one-to-one is the opportunity of the person who, I think I'll do it myself. You've got a great lead in there, Pat, who's going, yes, do it yourself, but get an editor to read over it to make sure that your words are right, like to make sure that there's no spelling errors, that your numbers are in the right order. So if you're not going to look at it, somebody's going to have to look over it. And it will make them think in terms of, there's probably more to this writing than me just writing it in the first place. Because there is. There's more to writing for a grant than just, let me see what I can write on paper.
The number one is to actually answer the questions, but that's different.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. How they answer the questions. But you don't want, like you said, the wrong figures in when you answer the questions. So there's an interesting space for you too there, Marion, is to proofread over grants and tenders. Not to say that you're writing it, but to make sure that there's no spelling errors and things like that, grammatical errors that show up over there. So another idea that's come to me as well is who writes, like might do a bit of a blog post on their Google business page or things on Facebook or whatever, right? And then you write and you think, oh, I'm in the moment, and you just type things up right there. So in that moment when you're right there, obviously you're going to finish writing it and post it up. And if there's a spelling error, you'll deal with that after the fact. But then have a think about if you're writing for somebody else's magazine or someone else's newsletter. That's probably the opportunity where you write it and you really have to make sure that it's correct because it's getting posted on someone else's platform. That's probably space where you look into, do I need to get that edited to make sure that that's right first, more so than showing up on your own pages. It's good to have it all right on your own pages, but if you do a lot of it, if you're going to show up on someone else's, have a think about getting it proofread before you send it off, particularly if it's a bigger article. Thank you so much, Marion, for being our speaker today. And thank you, audience, for participating and asking questions. And
Thank you for having me, for that, letting me share that, my love.
You're welcome. It's good to finally have gotten to your turn. So I've known you for a while, but we've been in and out of different groups for a while. So it's really nice to get to your turn here at Business at Breakfast.
Thank you.